Every day, millions of households toss kitchen scraps into the garbage, contributing to a staggering reality food waste accounts for nearly 22% of municipal solid waste in landfills. When organic matter decomposes in these oxygen-starved environments, it produces methane, a greenhouse gas that's about 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. As gardeners who care deeply about our planet and our plants, we have an incredible opportunity to transform this waste stream into garden gold, and honestly, the solution might be sitting in your recycling bin right now. The journey from kitchen scraps to rich, fertile compost doesn't require expensive equipment or complex systems. In fact, one of the most effective composting solutions uses something you probably throw away: weekly cardboard boxes. This humble material, combined with nature's most efficient decomposers, earthworms, creates a powerful composting system that not only diverts waste from landfills but, produces the finest organic fertilizer your garden has ever experienced. Cardboard represents a paradigm shift from traditional plastic worm bins, offering advantages that go far beyond simple cost savings. Unlike plastic containers that can become breeding grounds for anaerobic bacteria when drainage fails, cardboard naturally regulates moisture and airflow, creating the ideal environment for aerobic decomposition. The corrugated structure provides countless tiny air pockets that allow oxygen to circulate throughout the composting material, preventing the sour, rotten odors that plague many indoor composting attempts. The biodegradable nature of cardboard means your worm bin evolves with your composting needs. As the worms process organic matter, they simultaneously break down the cardboard walls, incorporating this carbon-rich material directly into the finished compost. This process typically takes 6 to 12 months, depending on environmental conditions, giving you ample time to harvest multiple batches of worm castings before the bin naturally decomposes. Moisture retention is another superpower of cardboard composting systems. The paper fibers absorb excess liquids from kitchen scraps, preventing the soggy conditions that can kill composting worms while maintaining the consistent dampness they need to thrive. This self-regulating moisture system reduces maintenance to simple weekly checks rather than daily monitoring required by some plastic bin systems. Preparing your cardboard for composting success involves selecting the right type of box and treating it properly. Large appliance boxes work exceptionally well due to their sturdy construction and ample size, but even medium shipping boxes can house productive worm colonies. Remember to remove all tape staples and glossy labels, as these materials don't decompose readily and can harm your worms. Avoid boxes that contain chemicals, paints, or foods with heavy processing, as residues can disrupt the delicate ecosystem you're creating. Constructing your cardboard worm bin. A master builder's approach. The foundation of successful worm composting begins with proper bin construction, and cardboard offers unique advantages in creating the perfect environment. Start by selecting a location that maintains temperatures between 55 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Basements, garages, or shaded outdoor areas work beautifully. Your cardboard bin needs protection from direct rainfall if placed outside, but should still receive adequate ventilation. Creating the perfect cardboard worm bin involves understanding the layered ecosystem you're building. The bottom layer consists of coarse organic matter like small twigs, dried leaves, or shredded cardboard itself. This drainage layer prevents waterlogging while providing hiding spaces for worms during temperature fluctuations. Above this foundation, you'll create the bedding layer using a mixture of shredded newspaper, coconut coir, and aged cardboard. This bedding should feel like a wrung-out sponge when properly moistened, damp but not dripping. The magic happens when you introduce your food scraps strategically throughout the bedding. Rather than dumping scraps in one corner, create small pockets by pushing aside bedding, adding a handful of kitchen waste, and covering it completely. This distribution method prevents fruit flies and ensures even decomposition throughout the bin. The final touch involves adding your composting worms, red wigglers or European nightcrawlers work best, directly onto the bedding where they'll immediately begin exploring their new home. Cardboard bin construction offers flexibility that rigid containers just can't match. You can easily expand your bin by adding cardboard extensions or, create separate chambers for different stages of composting. Some experienced worm composters actually create modular systems using multiple smaller boxes. This setup allows them to harvest finished compost while at the same time maintaining active composting chambers. Understanding your worm's needs transforms a simple composting bin into a thriving ecosystem that produces, honestly, exceptional results. Composting worms differ significantly from garden earthworms. They're surface dwellers that consume decaying organic matter rather than soil. These remarkable creatures can consume their own body weight in organic matter daily, but they require specific conditions to reach this impressive productivity. Bedding management forms the cornerstone of successful worm care, and cardboard systems excel in this area. The ideal bedding maintains consistent moisture while providing carbon to balance the nitrogen in your kitchen scraps. Shredded cardboard serves as both bedding and a food source, slowly breaking down as worms process it. Supplement cardboard bedding with coconut coir for moisture retention and shredded newspaper for immediate nutrition. Avoid glossy papers or cardboard with heavy inks, as these can contain chemicals harmful to your worm colony. So, temperature regulation in cardboard bins, it just kind of happens naturally thanks to the material's insulating properties. But, monitoring is still pretty important. Worms, well, they become sluggish if it gets below 55 degrees. And they can actually die if the temperature goes above 85 degrees. Cardboard, it really does provide excellent insulation against those temperature swings. It's easier to maintain optimal conditions compared to plastic alternatives. During those chilly winter months, you might want to add a few layers of newspaper or burlap over your cardboard bin for a little extra protection. Feeding your worms properly, it's essential for ensuring rapid reproduction and, maximum compost production. Kitchen scraps like vegetable peels, coffee grounds, tea bags, and fruit rinds, they provide excellent nutrition. But hey, avoid tossing in citrus onions, garlic, dairy products, and meat scraps. These materials can create acidic conditions or attract pests that disrupt the composting process. Pre-composting food scraps for a few days before adding them to your bin speeds decomposition and reduces the likelihood of attracting unwanted insects. Moisture management in cardboard systems requires understanding the material's absorption properties. Cardboard naturally wicks moisture from wet food scraps and redistributes it throughout the bin. Monitor moisture by squeezing a handful of bedding. It should release only a few drops of water when compressed. If the bin becomes too wet, go ahead and add dry shredded paper or cardboard. If it's too dry, just mist with water or add moisture-rich food scraps like melon rinds. The moment you've been waiting for arrives after about 3 to 4 months, when your cardboard bin starts producing finished worm castings, often called black gold by experienced gardeners. These castings represent one of nature's most perfect fertilizers, containing balanced nutrients, beneficial microorganisms, and natural growth hormones that honestly, dramatically improve plant health and soil structure. Harvesting worm castings from cardboard bins offers several methods, each with distinct advantages. The migration method works exceptionally well with cardboard systems because, well, you can simply add fresh bedding and food to one side of the bin. This encourages worms to migrate toward the new resources while leaving behind finished compost. After about 2 weeks, you can harvest the abandoned section, knowing it contains minimal live worms. The screening method involves removing the top layer of active composting material and then screening the lower layers through 1/4-inch hardware cloth. The light separation technique takes advantage of worm sensitivity to bright light, so you just spread harvested material in bright sunlight, and scrape away the top layer every few minutes as worms dive deeper to escape the light. Understanding the incredible value of worm castings really motivates continued composting efforts. These castings contain 5 times more nitrogen, 7 times more phosphorus, and 11 times more potassium than average garden soil. The slow-release nature of these nutrients actually prevents plant burn while providing steady nutrition throughout the growing season. Additionally, worm castings improve soil structure, increase water retention in sandy soils, and improve drainage in clay soils. Using your harvested castings effectively maximizes their impact on your garden's productivity. Mix castings directly into planting holes at a rate of 25% castings to 75% existing soil for new transplants. Create a liquid fertilizer by steeping 1 cup of castings in 1 gallon of water for 24 hours, then applying this worm tea to houseplants or garden beds. Top dress established plants with a thin layer of castings, allowing rain and irrigation to carry nutrients to root zones gradually. The continuous nature of worm composting means you'll harvest new batches of castings every few months, while your cardboard bin gradually decomposes and becomes part of the compost itself. This renewable system means you're never without fresh organic fertilizer, and the decomposing cardboard adds valuable carbon to your finished compost. Embracing cardboard worm composting creates ripple effects that extend far beyond your garden boundaries. Each pound of kitchen scraps you compost prevents methane emissions equivalent to burning several gallons of gasoline, making your small-scale composting efforts a meaningful contribution to climate change mitigation. The finished castings eliminate the need for synthetic fertilizers in your garden, which, really helps reduce the environmental impact that comes with manufacturing and transporting chemical inputs. The educational value of cardboard worm bins makes them perfect for families, schools, and community gardens. Children fascinate at the transformation process, learning valuable lessons about decomposition, nutrient cycles, and environmental stewardship. The transparent nature of cardboard allows easy observation of the composting process, making it honestly an ideal teaching tool for demonstrating sustainable living principles. Scaling up cardboard worm composting can handle surprising amounts of organic waste. A family of 4 can process most of their fruit and vegetable scraps using a single large cardboard bin, while apartment dwellers find that smaller systems are just perfect for coffee grounds, eggshells, and small amounts of produce waste. Community composting programs are more and more recognizing cardboard systems as cost-effective solutions for neighborhood-scale waste processing. The economic benefits accumulate quietly, but honestly pretty significantly over time. Eliminating organic waste from your household trash reduces garbage volume and those associated disposal costs too. The finished castings, actually replace those expensive bagged fertilizers and soil amendments, and they provide superior results at, zero ongoing cost. Many worm composters honestly find they produce more castings than they can use, which creates opportunities for sharing with neighbors or even selling the excess production. Your success with cardboard worm composting depends on viewing it as ecosystem management rather than waste disposal. The worms, microorganisms, and decomposing cardboard work together to create something greater than the sum of their parts. This biological system responds to care and attention by producing exceptional results that benefit your garden, your household, and the broader environment. Now it's time to transform your kitchen waste into garden treasure using nothing more than cardboard, worms, and your commitment to sustainable living. Start your cardboard composting journey today and experience firsthand why experienced gardeners consider worm castings the ultimate plant food. If this guide inspired you to start your own cardboard worm bin adventure, don't forget to subscribe to Smart Garden for more innovative, sustainable gardening solutions. Share this video with fellow gardeners who are ready to turn their waste into garden wealth, and let us know in the comments how your cardboard composting journey unfolds. Together, we're growing more than gardens. We're cultivating a more sustainable future, one cardboard box at a time.